welcome to Miss Cindy's Kitchen. Tonight I'm going to show you a recipe originally designed to be a pecan cobbler. However, since I have an abundance of walnuts, I'm going to use it to make a walnut cobbler. So make sure you like and subscribe and share this video to your friends and leave us a comment. And the first part of our recipe is to grease a 9x13 pan. I just used some Crisco. And also make sure your oven is set to 350 degrees and that it is all warmed up and ready to go. So, and mine already is. And I'm going to take a mixing bowl. That's usually a key component of recipes. And the dry ingredients for this recipe are 1 cup of flour. I stacked everything together because the recipe has 3 components. That way I would remember everything. A cup of sugar. That's a cup of white sugar. And 2 teaspoons baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. So got that all ready. And now I'm going to stir this to blend the dry together. All right. Then we are going to stir in the milk and melted butter. So we got a cup of milk. And let me just stir this in just a little bit. All right. And then we do the melted butter. It's rather slick, so I'll try not to drop this. This is 1 stick of butter melted. 1 stick is a 1/2 cup. All right, so that's our 1 stick of butter. And it calls for a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm just guessing for the vanilla. Gonna stir this up. And it says it's gonna be the consistency of cake batter. So I'm gonna let that sit for a moment. And the third step of this recipe is going to be boiling water. So let me get the boiling water started. This is pretty quick. It's an electric tea kettle. And we love tea and hot chocolate and hot drinks. So a tea kettle has been worth its weight in gold, especially in the cold and flu season. So the way this recipe comes together, this liquid batter is going to go in the bottom. So we're going to pour this in the bottom. All right, and let me grab a full-length scraper. So let me just switch this over here. And all right. Put that over there. Then we have a cup of chopped walnuts. And again, this recipe was originally designed for pecans, but I have an abundance of walnuts. So this is a cup of chopped nuts. Sprinkle it over the batter. All right. Okay. So I sprinkled the walnuts over the batter, and again, that is a 1/4 cup. I'm sorry, a full cup of nuts. And the second, that was the second part of the recipe. The third part of the recipe is a cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of white sugar, And we are going to stir this together. We're going to blend the sugars. And with this recipe, once you make it and you determine that you would like to make it a little differently, you can change the amount of nuts in it or change the amount of sugar in it, the sugars. And to me, that looks like it could use a little bit more walnuts. So since I have a lot of walnuts, I think I'm just going to throw a little bit extra in there. Because we like a lot of walnuts. So I just made myself a fresh batch of walnuts last week, so there. So just so it covers all the batter. That looks good to me. All right. That was probably maybe a half a cup more. Not too much more. And now we are going to sprinkle the sugars over the nuts. Whoops.
That was my phone chiming me over there.
Yep. Alright. So, now all we need to do is wait for the hot water. And what's nice about this tea kettle is like within a couple of minutes it will give us our boiling water. And it needs 1.5 cups of boiling water. And I noticed that when I was making our cherry cobbler, it also called for boiling water over the batter. And this looks like it's going to be really sweet. So I think probably in future batches I may make it with less sugar, but this is the first time going forward with it. So but while we're waiting for the water to come to a boil, make sure you have liked and subscribed and shared this video and leave us a comment. And now that we have reached our 1,000 subscribers, we're looking toward making a live video. So you all can chime in and let me know what recipe you would suggest and give me ideas. And then once I decide and get a plan together, I will let you know when we'll have a live. So this is almost done. So I don't need it at a full rolling boil, so it just says hot water. So I'm going to go ahead and call that good. And I'm going to do 1.5 cups. It's so hot and steamy. So 1.5 cups of hot water. This is just slightly below boiling. Let me move these out of the way. And it says just to pour this over the top and don't stir it or anything. So I'm just going to pour it over the top and let it gradually melt the sugars. And this actually just sounded like a really interesting recipe. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to show you all this recipe. So if you end up with an abundance of walnuts, pecans, or the like, you'll have an idea to use it. So this is going to bake at 350 for 40 minutes. And then we will bring you back and show you the yumminess. And our walnut cobbler.
The walnut cobbler.
There's all these C words to describe things that are baked in a 9x13 dish. Oh, our walnut cobbler, which is based on a pecan cobbler recipe. It cooked for 40 minutes at 350. So now it is the temperature of lava. So we're going to let it cool for a little bit. So it will be cool enough to taste test. So while we're waiting for it to cool, make sure you like and subscribe and share to your friends and leave us a comment. and we'll be right back with you. And we're back. And our walnut cobbler. I need to tattoo that on my hand. Our walnut cobbler is ready for a taste test. And Logan and Tyler have been busy studying for final exams, so they're going to take a snack break. There's some of the sugary part, and we get some of the cobbler part. Get you some sugar for the rest of your studying for tonight. Woohoo! Woohoo! Dahlia's like, I'll have a taste test. Yeah, look at her. She's studying Logan like, will you drop a bite?
Let's see.
Rich and delicious?
Very much so.
Is it nutty?
Very. Very nutty.
Just like you after hours and hours of finals prep.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So anyway, thank you again for joining us for this episode on Walnut Cobbler, based again on a pecan cobbler. So make sure you've liked and subscribed and shared this video to your friends and anybody else for that matter that you think would like to see it. And leave us a comment and come back again soon for our next episode.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, and neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.